Catherine, critics of today's report say it's alarmist. How significant is this report?
Well, it's commissioned by the world's governments, as you just heard. It's the distillation of 12,000 scientific studies, and it's by nearly 2,000 experts. It's by far the most detailed work on this that has ever been done. So in terms of the significance, you can't really outweigh it.
So not alarmist?
That's an interesting one, because actually the head of it is being criticised for being too upbeat rather than too alarmist, because he is saying if we adapt now, we might be able to sort this out. And a lot of people are actually saying, wait a minute, really?
Well, Michael, of course, we've seen lots of wild weather across the UK over the past years. 2007, the huge floods, and then again this winter, terrible floods. I mean, is this wild weather something we're going to see more and more of?
Absolutely. And to go back to what you were just saying, it certainly isn't alarmist. What we really need is something like this to give people a kick up the backside, as you might say, and get on and do something. Because
this is something you've been concerned about for many years.
The the Met Office have known about this for 40, 50 years and have been banging the drum about it. And it's got to the stage, really, where almost too little too late, because we can't do anything to prevent it. All we're now looking at is to just try and slow it down and lessen the impacts.
So you're saying we've been burying our heads in the sands when it comes to climate change?
That is true, yes. And as you just said, there will be more bad weather, floods, droughts, this sort of thing, heat waves. We've just got to hopefully adapt.
OK, Cathy, well, of course, obviously, we suffer from extreme weather over here, but it only has a certain limit of impact on us. What about other parts of the world where you've got drought, where you've got famine, people suffering?
Yes, it'll be a lot worse in the poorer regions of the world. They're already poor, they're already on a subsistence level, many of them, and therefore they will be harder hit by higher temperature rises than we'll have, and by the fact that the reductions in yield of their crops are going to be greater, and they are more dependent on them to live. So it's going to be much worse there. But the consequence of that isn't just necessarily that people starve, there will also be conflict. People will start fighting over water and over land that is able to sustain them. And also, well, here's what the head of the climate change panel said on that. If the world doesn't do anything to mitigate the emissions of greenhouse gases, the very social stability of human systems could be at stake.
OK, well, we know this is something that's going to affect us all, and we've had plenty of messages. Rachel Chapman on Facebook says the planet warms, the planet cools, been going on for millennia. Where Michael Mantle says the sun is the overriding factor in climate change, has been the case since the solar system came to be. Look back to the various ice ages before mankind was about. I mean, the world does change. Should we be more concerned now than ever before, Cathy?
Oh, well, I think the point was made exactly at the end of that. The world changed a lot before mankind was about. We've only been on the Earth for 200,000 years, potentially even less than that. And here's some perspective. The current pace of warming is 10 times faster than any warming in the last 65 million years.
Oh, that's pretty alarming stuff. Well, Janet Mann's also been on touch on Facebook. I'm definitely worried about global warming, she says. The consequences already showing with extreme weather conditions like the snow in the US of A and the floods in the UK and other such things. I mean, Michael, what would you like to see happen as a result of this report?
Well, I really don't know what can be done. We're at the stage where, as I say, it's too little too late in a way. I mean, this is hopefully going to be a wake-up call for many governments, because we really should do something. And to go back to one of your emails there, the past events we've had were all predictable. There was a change of axis of the Earth, the change of orbit of the Earth, the change of strength of the sunshine. So they are all predictable. We've seen them in the past. We know they're going to happen in the future. But what we've done is to override all those natural phenomena tenfold or more.